Monday night.
Okay. I'd like to call the Ferrysburg City Council meeting to order tonight, Monday, November 1st, 2021, 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mayor Hop.
Here.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Here.
Councilmember O'Donnell.
Here.
Councilmember Carlson.
Here.
Councilmember Blease.
Here.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Here.
Councilmember Sias.
Here.
At this time, please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask your blessing on our nation for freedoms that we enjoy, especially for those that we take for granted. Thank you for the diversity of our nation, the increase in our capacity for tolerance and mutual respect. Help us to be mindful of our blessings, and may your gracious spirit inspire us to work together to meet the challenges before us. Please continue to protect our men and women in uniform and keep them safe from harm. We pray this in your holy name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time on the agenda is for public comment. Time on the agenda is for any citizen to give a direct brief comment or questions to City Council. Time for public comments will be given with an agenda item as discussed. If you have a comment or question, please raise your hand to be recognized by the mayor. After being recognized by the mayor, please give your name, address for the record. Proceed with your comment or question. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Any public comments? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to item 6, consideration approval of consent agenda. A, approve the October 18, 2021 City Council meeting minutes as printed. B, approve this mayor's proclamation recognizing school of choice week for January 23 to January 29, 2022.
So moved. Support.
Motion support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Moving down to 7, new business. A, presentation by Lisa Mennerink, Ferrysburg representative to the Loudoun District Library. And also Mr. John Martin.
Director of the
Director of the,
Library.
yes.
So thank you very much for allowing us on Mayor Hop's last evening, get it popped out. We do have but a wonderful mayor that she has been for the city and with the council. We would like to also share, we always start out with a joke, and I've got a good one. What did the buffalo say to his son who was going off to college? Bye, son. Okay, that's an alliteration. You have to bison, get it, bison, buffalo. I know. So one of the things that I do want to share is we've had a lot of things going on with the library, and of course because of COVID as well. So what I think we're going to do, John, is do the presentation that we have for you. And the first thing I'd like to share, we have story walks, and if you've never gone to a story walk, they are available. They are initiated to provide wonderful opportunities for little ones and for adults as well to read, like you have Pokemon and you check on your phone and you do this. This is kind of the same thing. They have a map and a walk that is allowing a young child, while being outside, distance, exercising, etc., and reading. Okay. Next, we have the Wicked Lake Forest Cemetery History Trail. One of the things that we did were cemetery walks, and these are extremely popular, generally drawing a crowd of anywhere up to 100 people for each walk. And again, they're scattered, so this is outdoor learning. I believe the oldest cemetery that we have in the area is got Nunica Cemetery, which is very, very old, and we also have the downtown one at Duncan, next door to Duncan Woods, Lake Forest. So those are the two, and they go back and they give historical data to the people that hear the stories. These are all true stories to my knowledge, yes. And through the use of Storywalk, we have created a self-guided tour complete with AV interface. So if you're interested. Okay, Don, next, go ahead.
Jeez. We should, by the way, we should be able to get this in about 2 hours. Maybe less. So these story walks, we've had them in a number of locations all around the area, including Ottawa Sands, and we did one at Coast Guard Park. They're going to see more of that. But there's going to be more. Have it started? Not going to start. The other thing we do, and I should say that these are, in large part, these are reaction to COVID, because started these ideas when the library was closed. So what can we do to keep people active? What can we do to keep families active? You've had little kids. You know that they want to read, they want to do stuff, and so the story walks are really cool because whole kids book that tear apart and rebuild into the story walk. And so we also started doing these take and makes. The idea is that take a little kid to story time at the library. There's always a story, and then there's a craft program afterwards. The idea is that teaching kids how to socialize with others, and at the same time find finger activities. So we started doing these take and makes where staff members put into a bag a craft. Started out with crafts for the little ones, and then it morphed into older teens, and let's do adults. Those have been super popular.
Next, we have lockers. So John contacted, if you can, lockers. John contacted Spring Lake District Library to see if we could either have lockers here at City Hall. Craig basically said, no, it's not such a great idea. Again, probably hours that they're open.
That was
the book drops. Yeah, and this is where they can pick up their books, drop them off. We give them the information how to unlock. We have an opportunity to do this at our library in the garage area where you can pick up that, and we were add it to Lepping and share the cost with offer our patrons, especially when you know that transportation across the bridge is so precarious from now for the librarians that are late and not the pickup. So I thought that was a great idea for our resident, and they loved it during COVID, where you could call in a certain book, you're next in line to get that book, whatever it is, and we saved that book, we saved that movie, we saved that CD for you, and you're able to get it. Any questions about the lockers? Yes, Mike?
Weatherproof one that you could set outside? I don't think we'd have a objection to that, would we, Craig, if it was outside?
Well, what we had talked about, what Lisa had mentioned about setting up that Lepping. That's where you could deposit things already up, bring them back. They'll come back to you. These types of things need some kind of a plus stop. Happened at parking area, lockers.
The library.
Yeah, at the
100% in favor of this, but, you know, we have a security issue here where we don't want people willy-nilly in and out of the building. We know who's coming in and who's going.
Correct. Oh, correct.
But if we could come up with something that's weatherproof that we could do outside,
Yeah, and these are outside. This is outside the building, so you can pick it up 24/7.
but we have no place where there's a roof outside the building.
Right.
See, my point would be,
So that's why we went to Lepping's grocery store, because they have that old,
right,
where they have some of the nuts that sell on those, they have a little about that size. I mean, it's not gonna be a lot of lockers, but who's to say we won't? I keep hoping that we're gonna have some mobile to go to the center, to go to the, that are in the area, and that would be outstanding. Don't have to buy a vehicle of X amount of dollars, which,
I think we're talking apples and.
yeah.
I was just thinking if we could set it out, you know, like, we got plenty of room here, if we
Yeah.
could set it outside where it was weatherproof, the lockers were.
Yeah.
You know,
This is a totally
Totally
different
different
system.
thing,
Okay.
yeah.
Than
okay,
Yeah.
which is,
So it's to be coming, right? We're starting to get the. So, John, the next part is the newsletter.
so the final slide that we have, is, so how do you find out about all this cool stuff that's happening at your local public library? And you can sign up, text LDL to, or you can go onto the website and sign up for LDL, and then you'll get more than enough information. Questions?
Thank you very much. Truly appreciate this. Being president of the museum, I know that we do a lot of collaboration between both, and that's just, it's always neat to see and all the new and exciting things that you're doing. So, thank you. Other comments?
as city council members, we get the printed newsletter. Does that go out to the public in general, or is that just for our information?
No, we do a printed newsletter once, maybe
Twice a year, I believe.
but every month we do electronic.
Right, but I mean, as far as paper, do you send it out to the entire area, okay, thank you.
Yep. Whether you want it or not, you're gonna get it.
I always read it.
Yeah, thank you. And then you're probably not, well, I shouldn't say probably, you're not done with us, because real near future, back giving it.
Thank you very much.
I just want to share that, you know, I treat the library as if it's my own personal fund, and I don't want to spend any more money than I absolutely have to. And one of the items that I know was controversial, but I felt it was important, was I voted no on cell phones. I don't have a problem with John Martin receiving a cell phone at $40 a month, which is $480, you know, basically a year. But for 10 librarians to receive this, I think is a little excessive, but in my book, because I'm a public school teacher, I'm using my cell phone to Zoom, I'm using my cell phone to do work at home, calling my parents, whatnot. I'm not receiving or any recompense from Muskegon Public Schools on my cell phone. So again, I've tried to stay very conservative, and knowing that our hours were not quite up to running full throttle as we were prior COVID, but we found some holes in our economic structure as far as the longevity, keeping good employees longer, and we had a consultant who came in and shared, and we changed the steps in order for those employees to gain the benefits, to gain the importance of salary, so that they felt necessary and as productive workers. So I thought that was very positive. So again, thank you. I enjoy working for Loudoun District Library on your behalf. Thank you again.
See you again. Congratulations on your retirement. I wish you the best. Okay. I'm sure our paths will cross. Okay. Moving down to 7B, discussion take action if appropriate to approve, not approve, a bid from Straight Line Design to renovate 3 City Hall restrooms in the North-South Hall for $54,322. That information is in your packet.
Donna,
Yes.
I would make a motion that we not approve it at this time.
Support.
Motion and support. Further discussion regarding this.
My reason for not supporting it is, I had lunch with a plumber today. He's got 5 houses he's waiting on parts for to finish up. They are not available. The houses are done, other than he's gotta make some final hookups, and he can't get the parts. Why my fear is, we get started in the middle of this, they can't get parts. If, in fact, we're going to approve it, I would say we need a penalty clause in there that, hey, he says he'll have it done in 2 months or whatever, that there's a significant penalty for not doing it, because anybody can bid anything, whether or not you can get parts. Rich and I were talking outside, and he has the same issue. I have the same issue. I can't get parts to do jobs. They're just plain not available. So my fear is we'll get in the middle of this mess, have no bathrooms running. I think at this point, even if it costs us a little bit more later, you know, by spring, you're saying the supply chain is gonna be adequate. I think we should just hold off at this point and approve it later in the year.
This isn't for the 21-22 budget for $50,000 we budgeted for. So postponing this until later. There's any other further discussion regarding this? Anyone else? Okay, there's some, yep, go ahead.
Honor, I don't know. I think costs are only gonna get more significant in the future. This has been going on for a long time that we've been planning on doing this. We do have another bank of bathrooms over here if something does get stalled over here. But, you know, if Straight Line could give us some kind of guarantee that they have the products necessary that they need to finish the product in a timely manner, I don't know why we wouldn't move forward with this. They seem to think that they can do it in a timely manner. I mean, they haven't said anything to you otherwise, have they, Craig? That, no. So I think we're being a little bit premature on just canceling this project at this point until we find out for sure from Straight Line, I'm sorry, did I say front line? Straight Line, on whether or not that they can finish it in a timely manner. And maybe we can table it till next month and revisit it again. I don't know how long our bids are good for with Straight Line. Usually they're only 60 days or 90 days, so I know we're pushing that. So I don't know. I'd rather table it than just put it off till next year's budget.
Discussion regarding this.
Well, I certainly agree with Councilman Sias, as well as Mr. DeWitt. Thank you. Mental block there, sorry. Supply issues are just huge, and certainly we've taken the general contractor and worked them over the coals already in terms of going back and forth with them already. We need to do the bathrooms. We need to do ADA doors, and certainly like to see it done now. But I do wholeheartedly agree that we need to put some caveat in there that they can complete the job in a timely fashion. Whether we set a time deadline or do a penalty, like we do with road construction, okay? 2% a month or whatever it works out to be, and present that, approve that, and see if Straight Line is amenable to something like that. That way we can get the project moving, and we'll be able to satisfy Councilman DeWitt's concerns about getting the thing done timely. Make sense?
Now, currently, there's a motion not to approve, and it's been supported. Oh, Council, please.
I just have a comment, maybe for Craig. So the total bid is $53,050. That does not include sales tax, right? Because we're tax exempt.
Correct.
Cause some of those bids had tax on them and they were still in there.
The 5350 is without tax.
Okay, without tax, okay. And I do kinda agree with Councilman Sias, I think, yeah, we need to get these bathrooms going here. I mean, they're just really old and outdated and we need to get it up and into code and all that, everything to ADA or universally accepted, so I think we should move forward.
So right now, the current motion on the table is not to approve. Yes.
I have one more question, Craig. They broke this bid down into separate entities here. Do you think it would be possible, you know, there's gonna be no issues with the door openings as far as getting parts. Doors are readily available, you know, cutting the doors open, making it the adequate doors. I guess my question would be, you've been talking to them, I deal with this stuff every day, and I know the supply chains. It is absolutely nuts trying to get parts. My question would be, if they could go ahead and get the doors cut out, the 88 doors put in for the 9,000, whatever it is, and then wait till spring. Is that something you could give them a call and see if they would be willing to do that? Realizing that there could be a price increase between now and then, but we could at least get the project going as far as getting the 88 doors in.
And check with them, sure.
I guess that would be a way to move forward partially, you know, and then if the supply chain is available, but you know, like Rich and I were talking, you can order, you think everything's available, the wholesale will tell you, hey, it's here, we got it. Well, then when you order it, you get half the stuff. It happened to me 5 or 6 times in the last week. Oh yeah, they want to sell it to you, but they don't have it to sell. But they don't tell you that until the delivery comes and half your order's there. Been the same problem with you, Rich?
And it's not, it's gonna be in the next 2 weeks. It's maybe 60 days. It might be second quarter of 2022.
They're telling me 90 days.
Terrible.
You know, so that's why I have severe reservations about going ahead, because I know, oh yeah, you can promise anything, but when you got, well, what do you do then? We got the whole thing ripped apart and they can't get the parts. I would be real reluctant to move forward with this project because we get our bathrooms tore apart. We got one bathroom with one stall left, correct? It would be the employee bathroom, would be the only one. The other ones would be all tore apart. Yeah.
In this hall.
Yeah. So.
Your Honor, isn't there a way that we could put a caveat in there that they're not gonna start any construction until materials are in hand? Is that a possibility? And we'd be
However
doing
you want
progressive
to.
billing, so we could compensate them for materials that they would be gathering, and then potentially hold price.
We can have that discussion.
Okay.
Problem with that is, you know, we got a building that's what, 60 years old? They ain't gonna know what they need until they get it all ripped apart. And then all of a sudden you can't get the one little piece you need
So
to
right
make
now
the final
there's-
hookup.
Go through with this and then give direction to staff to go back out for bid, asking for the specifics that were discussed. Is that what I'm hearing with council? Okay. Yes.
Your Honor, I don't think that there's a complaint from council, and speak up if I'm incorrect, about the doing the contract with Straight Edge, or Straight Line, excuse me. It's with the availability, and if they're gonna be able to perform like anybody else is gonna have the same kind of issues. So I don't think it's fair to put the whole thing out for bid again after all the could council have him negotiate that and close
That's
the deal?
something that we can do.
Well, I'm in favor of getting it done. It's just a question. I know the supply chain issues, and Rich does too. We're both, you ordered
Okay,
10
so
parts.
do you want to amend your motion?
No. I think we'll just table it for now and revisit it in the spring when the
That
supply
your
chain,
motion is to,
not approve it at this time.
so then that's not the same as table.
Well, if you would rather have me table it, that would be fine.
All right, just because we disapprove it at this time doesn't mean we can't come back to it
Correct.
at another time. So basically disapproving it is almost the same as tabling.
So if that's,
Right?
council members to this council to be added to the discussion also.
And one caveat I put on there is, Craig, to make clear to straight line.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Councilman DeWitt, what would you find amiable if you were to vote yes on this? What kind of proposal would you see? Or are you steadfast in saying, voting no on it now?
Well, I don't want to approve it until Craig has, I just don't believe they can get the supplies they're gonna need, and they don't even know what they need until they dig into it. You know, you got all kinds of weird fittings in there from the, what, 50s when this was built? They have no clue what's in that, underneath that floor. The codes and the materials used back then are entirely different today. They're gonna have to have all kinds of special fittings, all kinds of special, you remodel a house, you know what it's like. It's, you know, and I just don't believe they're gonna be available.
Had discussion. So at this point, I will just call for a vote. All those in favor, yes.
Do a roll call.
Art, please,
You want a roll call?
please.
Okay, roll call, please.
And could you read the motion again, please?
It's discussion to take action to not approve a bid from Straight Line Design to renovate 3 City Hall restrooms in the North-South Hall for a total of $54,322.
Councilmember Sias,
Hey,
Councilmember Carlson,
Hey.
Councilmember Blees,
No.
Councilmember Montgomery,
No.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt, Mayor Hop.
No.
Okay. The motion has failed.
So at this point,
Well, I'd like to put a motion on the table to allow Craig to move forward with this, with the addition of a stipulation in the contract that penalizes for exceeding a certain amount of time.
or, could I add some, what kind of time are we asking for? 3 months?
I'd be open to that, yeah, I don't know how long a commercial bathroom typically takes, but, you know, did they give us any inclination of how long it takes, right, or how long it will take?
We started the project, it was a 3-week project.
So we penalize over 3 months? or over 2 months? Do we have a working bathroom?
Yeah.
And so we'll have one throughout this project?
Correct.
Okay.
So, would you like me to get some information from Straight Line and bring it back to city council with what their best time frame is?
Okay.
Craig, you can negotiate that timeline.
I'm just thinking if he says if he can get it done in 60 days, if he starts February 1st, rather than saying, well, start December 1st and we'll give you 90 days, might work better for both of us if he gives me a date that he thinks he can get it done, we use that date and then move forward on the penalty clause from that date that he thinks he's going to be able to accomplish.
Prove it tonight, and he starts in January, he's got 2 months to get the materials. It'd be December and then 6 weeks or whatever. So he should be able to hopefully find materials.
Your Honor, I'm willing to amend my motion to give Craig that discretion.
Still support that? Okay.
I think 2% is pretty standard, Craig, correct?
A month.
A month, yeah, sorry.
Motion has been amended. It's been second. We've had a discussion. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Do you want a roll call? You can do a roll call. Okay.
Councilmember Carlson,
Okay.
Councilmember Blees,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt, Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Mayor Hop.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Thank you. Moving down to 7C, discussion take action if appropriate to adopt a proposed resolution regarding the lease of portion of the premise of 17520 Ridge Avenue Basketball Basic for the mayor and the city clerk to sign all necessary documents. And in here was information from staff regarding section 22 of the lease. That's what we made the adjustment.
So move.
Support.
Okay. Moving into further discussion regarding this.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Craig, there was a price increase
No price increase.
so it's the same price for the next 3 years?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
There's just the addition of section 22. So,
And Craig, is the personal guarantee at the end of the document, is that something new or not? Did we put that in because of the ability of him to sublease?
It's always been in there.
Okay, very good.
comments or question? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to our next agenda item. Discussion, take action if appropriate to approve the mayor's appointment of Gary Post to the Kitchell-Lindquist Hartford Dunes Preserve for a term ending July 1, 2024.
Support.
Motion support. Further discussion? Yes.
The council rep to the KLH Dunes Preserve Board should mention that at our last meeting, Gary Post was at the meeting, and we all got a chance to chat with him, and he stayed for the whole meeting. He's a retired attorney and long history in environmental and being an activist for natural areas and that type of thing. So I think it'll be a good addition to the KLH Dune Preserve Board. Because we have so many young people now, it's good to get somebody that's a little older, so.
Feeling
been
lovely,
great.
are we?
Yeah, it's great, it's great.
And I also serve with Mr. Post on the Ottawa County Land Bank Authority.
Mhm.
So, great addition to that.
Yep.
Committee also. So there's motion support. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. 7E, discussion take action to appoint Mike DeWitt to the Zoning Board of Appeals as a regular member for a term ending July 1, 2024.
Move.
Support.
Motion support, and at this time, I will ask Councilmember DeWitt to recluse himself.
Obviously, I have to abstain.
Any further discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd just like to thank Councilmember DeWitt for furthering his involvement with the city and the zoning board. He'll be a great candidate. He's been around for a long time and he knows a lot of what's happening. So thanks. Thank you.
Your Honor. I'd like to also thank Mike for his years of service and that he's willing to continue to step into the snake pit of public service. It's a wonderful thing. Well, no, it's a good thing, so.
And he has
Thank
served
you
on the
so much.
ZBA
Yeah.
and on the construction board, so I appreciate that, your time and your service as well. And thanks for continuing that.
Don't embarrass me. Come
I'm
on.
not, so all
That's
those in,
next.
pardon me?
I said that's next.
All those in favor stating aye?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
You did right, I abstained.
You have that, Councilmember DeWitt. Okay, thank you. Moving down to 7F. Presentation by Mayor to special recognition of Councilmember DeWitt, who served on City Council since March 5 of 2012. So, Mr. DeWitt,
Geez, that long? Holy cow, Mike.
here we go.
I wasn't even born back then.
Yeah.
Come on, Craig, get your camera.
Oh, baby. Everybody get their phone.
Here's my phone too. Let me take
Some pics.
Anyways, Mike DeWitt, in appreciation of your service. Appreciate it. Oh, we're not done yet.
Uh-oh.
If there's more,
Uh-oh.
we're gonna wallpaper the house.
Oh,
Here we go.
you've been over.
Pardon me?
Been over.
So, from the city of Ferrysburg, it's a resolution for Mike and his years of service on city council, and it's signed by Jesse Wagner, the city clerk, on November 1st, 2021. There you go. So you get two.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate all your time on we've served, Mike.
Been interesting.
It's been a fun ride. Moving down to 7G. Presentation by Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell, to specially recognized Mayor Happ, who served on council from 2009 to 2017, served as mayor from 2017 to 2021. Oh, man.
Yeah, I had just a little short speech written here, but I was told to keep it short, so there you go.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. We're done. All right, moving on.
No.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So Rebecca Happ, in appreciation of your service as Ferrysburg City Council member from 2009 2017.
Awesome, thank you.
And Rebecca Happ, in appreciation for your service as Ferrysburg mayor from 2017 to 2021.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And resolution, Rebecca Happ, elected to city council 2009, was re-elected in 2013 to city council, and Rebecca was elected to the position of mayor in 2017 and was re-elected as mayor in 2019. And Rebecca represented the city of Ferrysburg, a number of local, regional, and state boards, commissions, associations, and Rebecca represented the citizens of Ferrysburg with honesty, integrity, was a dedicated public servant, and continually encouraged the citizens of Ferrysburg to participate in the local government. And Rebecca's long distinguished career is leaving the city council as of November 15th. Now therefore be resolved that the city council of the city of Ferrysburg expresses its sincere appreciation to Rebecca Happ for her years of dedicated service to the city of Ferrysburg, and be it further resolved that the city council of the city of Ferrysburg requests all citizens of Ferrysburg to join the city council in recognizing Rebecca for her record of public service to the city of Ferrysburg and all Ferrysburg citizens.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Oh. Moving down, public comments. Hearing none. Moving down to 8, 9. Report, city manager.
No report?
No report. Moving down to city council members. We'll start at this end. Councilmember Carlson.
Yes. I already talked about the KLH Dune Preserve Board. We had a very interesting meeting last week, 2 weeks ago. We had 3 different people there from the Corps of Engineers because we've been concerned about the erosion that's been happening from between where the water main goes, right next door to North Shore Marine. There's a tremendous amount of shoreline erosion that we've had happen. It's primarily because of the fact that everything on the other side of the channel is all hardened. And so the waves are just bouncing across and really attacking our shoreline. And so we had a person from the Grand Haven group and another person from Detroit, and then somebody drove in from Chicago. And the Corps of Engineers right now has funding to develop what I believe they called it a revetment. And what they're going to be doing essentially is on the north pier, right at the shoreline, and then shooting out, let's say, 100 yards. They're going to be pushing the walkway towards the north and then developing something that's shaped like this, essentially, that is going to have more riprap in it that's going to absorb the waves so that they stop the waves coming back and forth and amplifying. And we wanted to know about that, how that might affect us, and then also pick their brains as to what we could do. And so it was a very, very interesting meeting. Corps of Engineers right now has funding for that. That's going to be coming down the pipe in the next 5 to 10 years, that construction. Okay. Yeah.
It's all going to be dependent on funding. But,
I know where you're at.
it's on our radar. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We had our rec commission meeting last week. We're discussing working on letters of support for the Fire Barn Park to support our grant application that will be going or submitted next year, early next year, in order to better help our match portion of the grant. We've started drafting fundraiser letters that we will be sending out over the next couple months, both to previous supporters as well as residents that have not supported in the past or given in the past. We will be collecting money through the community foundation, and people will be eligible for write-offs through that. So I think that was a lot of progress towards what we're doing. We're starting with the parking lot and the bike path, so not super exciting portion of the park, but definitely the biggest safety issues with the park currently, with people crossing in front of the fire barn at any time, day or night. So rerouting that bike path will be a huge win for the Ferrysburg Fire Department and our residents' safety. And then getting that parking lot will just make this one step closer to our ADA compliance, and having adequate parking for the attractions to come. So more to come. Yep.
Update. Councilmember DeWitt.
Well, the last one.
Yep.
It's been mostly a pleasure, sometimes not so much, but I think back is 10 years when I got elected, first time we were looking at major renovations to City Hall. Over the past 10 years, with the help of council members, particularly Rebecca and Scott Blease and some other ones, when I came in, the issue was the City Hall roof. We got that done. City Hall boiler, got that done. Police department was a mess. We got that taken care of. Yeah, and we saved a bunch of money on the pension fund. Smith's Bridge. Thank you, Scott. Tim, Rebecca, I know you all been lobbying hard in Lansing. We got the money for the bridge. We've got the bike path finished. And we paid off City Hall early. So, I'm leaving you guys in good stead. And it's been my pleasure, and thank the voters, thank the residents. One other issue, it came up today, Harbor Transit, I don't know who's gonna get appointed to the board. Muskegon is lobbying for us to join them or take them over, whatever. Keep your eye on it, whoever gets that board. They do not have any voted millage. They want us to fund their mess. They're a mess, they're running in delinquent all the time. Keep your eye on it. Unless they get a voted millage, I would suggest you fight against it, because if we take it over, our taxpayers are gonna subsidize their transportation system, which is a total disaster. So I just wanna throw that out there, because I won't be there to fight for you. One other thing. Yeah, but they're getting a big bunch of money to study feasibility, and I'll tell you right now, they're gonna come back and say, oh yeah, the regional transportation's a good thing, and we're gonna get screwed in the deal. The state is pushing, and the feds are pushing for consolidation, thinking it's a good idea. Typically it is, but without them having a voted millage, it is not good for us, put it that way. One other issue I got, Craig, is you did a wonderful job with the attendance, except Harbor Transit, add that to the list, MPO, Police Commission, and the Library Board. When people come here and want to be reappointed to these boards, I want the city council members to look and say, oh, he must be reappointed, he ain't showed up for the last 8 meetings. It's important that you make the meetings. Things happen when you actually show up.
Do you want all of the subcommittees to be listed? Because there's some that you didn't recognize on that list.
Well, I think, he's got the beautification and all the other committees. Harbor those were the 4 that weren't on this list that you provided, correct, Craig?
Correct. I haven't been keeping attendance records for those, but I can start.
I think when people come before us and they want to be appointed to a board or reappointed, their attendance record should reflect the decision of the council.
3, Harbor, MPO, and the police are.
Right.
The other one would be the library, a resident.
Right, but it's still representing Ferrysburg. So when Lisa comes back, I keep track of her attendance. She makes almost every meeting. She comes back and wants to get reappointed. If you miss 10 out of 12 meetings, council should know that rather than automatically appointing someone. That's all I'm looking for there.
There's also Coast Guard Festival Committee added to that.
In my mind, who cares on that?
Well, that would be.
That was the only
okay.
other thing.
There's just a couple that we're missing, so I didn't know if you wanted all of them.
Anything else I'm missing there, Craig?
So the only would be Coast Guard Park or Coast Guard Festival, and I'm not sure how I would keep track of that because I don't get minutes of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
then the other one would be Nora.
Well, yeah,
And Nora is another, council member appointment.
right, yeah, we'll track that one too, if you would. Yeah.
Board review.
But, you know, like the MPO there for, several years, we had, somebody appointed that never showed up. Amazing, people show up and we get a bridge. I mean, you know, I'm sorry about that, but, you know, council should have access to that, information prior to appointing someone or reappointing someone to their position. That's it. Good luck, guys.
Your Honor, I just had wondered if Mr. DeWitt could clarify, are you in support of the connector between Ottawa County and Muskegon? If
Yes.
that can be negotiated?
Absolutely.
And that's what we're talking about, the connector on
No,
Grand
well-
Haven Road
Right, well,
to share riders?
okay, what has been approved by Harbor Transit and Muskegon, Matt's, is that we will meet at the fire station on Old Grand Haven Road So people coming from Muskegon to work in Grand Haven can catch our bus to go to Grand Haven, and vice versa. What Matt's wants now, and has been pushing for several years, is they want us to take over their system. Muskegon County subsidizes it because they have no millage. Okay, and Muskegon County's, they want done with it, period. So then now we're dealing with, okay, does Norton Shores pass a millage to support it? Muskegon Heights, I mean, that's where we're at, but as far as us taking it over and subsidizing their problems, that's what you need to consider, whoever gets on it. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For asking for clarification on that. Yes.
Yeah, the Monster Bash was a success. Everybody that attended had a great time. I would have liked to seen a few more attendees. It was a little light on attendees, but everybody had a good time. That's what mattered. I'd like to thank Mayor Hop and Councilmember Blees for coming out and joining us and helping us with the competition, the costume competition, and handing out the prizes. And that's my end of my report. I'd like to thank Mayor Hop for her time and commitment to the city, and wish her best of luck in her future endeavors. And Scott Blees as well, and of course Mike. Thanks for all you've done the past 10, 15 years. It's been a great help to the city and keeping us on track and helping us, keep an eye on those numbers. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, a couple of weeks ago, we had the Economic Development Task Force. We had a meeting, then we had an open house. Unfortunately, there's no business attendees to that, but I think we had a good presentation. It was a good trial run. So I think next time we do it, we'll get some participation, and then we'll discuss that in the further meetings of that committee. I wanted to also recognize Len Vanderjack, retirement from fire department after 30 years. And then also, I attended a Monster Bash Friday night. Yep, I wish a few more people attended, but we had fun with the people that were there. And then I want to thank Mayor Hop for her service on City Council and also as mayor. And then thank Mike DeWitt on City Council and all his years of volunteering and service. And a report.
I too attended the Len Vanderjack's retirement party. There was a good turnout for that. Be interesting to see who they select as the new assistant chief. He's got big shoes to fill, or her. Attended the sustainability forum that was held here last week, along with Craig, and there's a lot of neat information there. Talking to one of the people out from the forum afterwards, he was amazed to find out that our city has almost 26% parks. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff already in our favor that make us towards a sustainability city with the tree coverage and Tree City USA, large part thanks to Rebecca and all her work on that. I'd like to thank Councilmember DeWitt. Mike, you and I think we've had some interesting times together. And you'll be greatly missed. You were nice to spar with and also support. So. And Mayor Hop, it's been a great pleasure to serve with you. Thank you for your service. And a report.
Great, here we go. Thanks, appreciate it. It's been fun. Before I say my thank yous, people need to be aware of the House bill. It has passed the House. It's for short-term rental, and it's moving on to the Senate. So please follow House Bill 4722. It's going to greatly affect our communities. So that passed with a very slim margin. It was 55 to 48. Rep. Lilly did oppose it. So with that being said, I attended the Monster Bash. It was fun. Yes, I wish we had more people that were in attendance, but we had a really good time with the people that were there. And in fact, we had a couple of people from the community that decided it was a couple, and they volunteered. They called up and they came dressed and they volunteered as new to the community, and they just wanted to give back. So that was really neat. Close to my neighbors, so that was fun. Anyways, and then also I was at the assistant chief's retirement. Well attended. We had some fun with him. Made him laugh. Anyways, and remember to vote tomorrow. And I just want to thank everybody for the time and the support. We did some amazing firsts for the city that have never been done, never been attempted. We successfully did them. And we did them with a lot of community support, community participation with the community build, with the tree planting. So we did some amazing things. And with that,
Motion adjourned for the last time.
there you go. Got it? There you go. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Mike.